So I love this question. I made a video about gratitude journaling the other day and how it helped me get into the quantum shift, and I would love to talk to you guys a little bit about how I do my journaling. So when I started doing gratitude journaling, which is basically just writing down things that you're grateful for, you can use different prompts, you can write about other things if you want as well, you can add on a lot of different things for this kind of journaling. When I started doing it, and if you're someone that's new to this kind of journaling, or even you've never written down anything in a journal or in a diary, you've never kept one before, the easiest thing that you can do to get into something like this, which will truly change your life, is to start by writing down 5 things every single night that you are grateful for. And it doesn't need to be big. It doesn't need to be something like, I just got a new job, or I've done something really fantastic in my life, I graduated, things like that. It doesn't need to be a big milestone kind of thing. It can be something as little as, I just bought a new lipstick, I just spent some time with my family, I just hung out with my cat all day. It can be something that's really simple, but something that meant a lot to you, and it genuinely needs to mean a lot to you. When I started doing journaling, so this is my gratitude journal, it's almost finished because I've been doing this consistently from September, which is the next point that I was getting to. It is really important to do this consistently. It does not matter that you're writing down 5 things, 6 things, more than that, less than that. Like if you're writing 4 things instead of 5 because you just don't have any ideas, it's not tragic. It's not the end of the world. It's not going to ruin your journaling, and it doesn't mean anything. The important thing is that you are doing it every single night. So the reason that I do it every single night is because I feel like when you are going to bed and you're trying to relax and you're trying to drift off, it's the perfect position and the perfect time to reflect on how your day went, on how things went for you. You're going to start thinking about all the important stuff that happened during that day, the conversations that you had with people, the stuff that happened to you, and that's the perfect moment to think about all of the stuff that actually meant a great deal to you as well. I think often as people we forget that we are supposed to be grateful for a lot of the things that we have. We take a lot of things for granted, and until we shift this mentality where we think that what we have isn't enough, and we actually recognize that what we have is enough to get to the place where we want to be, it does not mean that we settle for the life that we have. It means that we accept the things that we have and we are grateful for it, and we use them to get to a better position. That means that you write down things that meant a lot to you and will help you get to that position where you want to be in your life, because you have a shift in your mindset. What I mean by this is that how I started journaling just with 5 things a day, and you will see that my first few pages are like really empty. They're just like 5 things every single day, and the occasional just additional thing that I wanted to write down, not to forget, or just something that happened in that day. When I started doing this, in less than a few weeks, I started noticing a few patterns in myself, in my everyday life, that were not there before. So when I was having like a discussion with someone where I would have been stressed, or I would have gone angry, or something would have, not gone my way, and I would have felt like, oh, this is really terrible, how am I going to get through this, or wow, what an awful day. And it's really normal to think that way as people, because like I said, we take things for granted, we think negatively so often, especially in the modern day world that we live in, where so many things, are just piled up on people. So when you start doing this kind of thing where you write down things that you are grateful for, your mind actually changes and it switches up to see the positive things in your life. What I mean by this is that when I was in a situation where I was having an argument with someone, or something was not going my way in life, instead of focusing on the negative thing that was happening in that moment, I was thinking, actually, what can I take away from this that I will write about in my journal tonight? And that's when I started actually journaling properly. Instead of writing down just 5 things, like as if it was a to-do list, I started writing down specific moments, conversations, experiences, good and bad, that happened throughout my day, like just highlights of my day, or highlights of the last week that I remember, or just things that I remember from my life in general. It doesn't even have to be about that specific day, but just things that I notice or remember where I can take away something that I'm actually really grateful for. So I've actually got pages where I've written down mistakes that I made, where I was saying stuff like, I'm really grateful that this thing didn't work out with this person, and this stuff didn't happen this way, because I've learned this, this, and this from this, and this means that next time when this thing happens, I'm not going to do it again. It actually changed the way that I was thinking. Like, it entirely changed up the way that I was thinking about everyday life. Instead of focusing on how terrible things are going for me and how bad it is and how horrible everything's going, I started seeing the positive side to everything. And I've literally had people ask me, how are you so positive all the time? Like some people from my family, my friends, they always ask me, how are you so positive? How do you remain so positive all the time? And this wasn't the case until a few months ago. If you look at my account as well, you will see that it is the perfect example of a quantum shift. Like if you look at my videos from September until now, and you see the evolution that has taken place in my life, you will see that it is genuinely the best example of a quantum shift that I can give. If you're not familiar with the quantum shift, I'm going to make more videos on this as well if someone wants and is interested, because most of my content is about the films and the books that I've made. But if this is something, like, I'm quite passionate about talking about this kind of stuff as well, so if there's someone that is interested in it, I will gladly explain more. I have made a video about what the quantum jump is and what quantum shifting is, but the short version of it is that you get to the present, where you are right now, to a place where you want to be in the future in a specific amount of time that just genuinely feels like unreal. Like you get from where you are to where you want to be, and just like you might think that in a few years time I want to do this and I want to do that and I want to earn this much and I want to be this kind of a person, but you can do that in a few months. Like, you do not need to wait lots of years, and you don't need to wait a long amount of time. It's a really difficult concept to explain if you don't have time, and this is not really what the video is about either, but the short version of it is that you literally like change your life around in a few weeks or a few months in a way that feels unreal. So basically, if you were looking for a sign to start journaling or to start doing something that would change your life, start just by writing down 5 things every single night that you are grateful for, and watch the way that your life will switch around. I promise you.